Hello students, today in your geometry class, you're going to be working on finding areas of a trapezoid, rhombus, or a kite. So before we start, let's try working on these two quick practice problems. For number one, let's find the area of the triangle. Now, hopefully you remember that the area of a triangle is equal to 1/2 base times the height. And in this case, the base is 8 and the height is 4. Therefore, we have 1/2 times 32. Which means the area of this is 16 square units. For number two, find the area of the trapezoid. So area of a trapezoid, parallelogram is equal to 1/2 base times the height. So the base here is 10 and the height is 7. Therefore, the area of this is 70 square units. So the purpose is that at the end of this lesson, you should be able to find the area of a trapezoid, rhombus, or a kite. So before we just go ahead and start using the area of a trapezoid, we're going to go ahead and prove it really quick. Now, let's start with the following. If we were to take this trapezoid, what we could do is we could literally cut out this triangle, which we'll do really quick. We're going to take this piece out, and what we could do is we can replace it and move it over here, and hopefully it should look like a square. Hopefully it should look like a square. Now, the area of a square we know is equal to base times the height. Now the height we already know is h because it matches our picture here already. It's more a matter of how do we incorporate the base sub 1 and the base sub 2. So we know that from here to here, this distance is base 1. It's really a matter of how did we get this length right here, which we'll call x. Oh, I'm sorry. This length is not base 1. This length right here is base 1 because it should align with the one up top. So this is our base 1, which we're also going to write down here. This extra piece, which we're going to go ahead and do in blue, is our x value. So since we have that value right there in blue, and this value right here in blue as our base, we're going to call that x. Now x is equal to the distance, or the difference between base 2 and base 1. But there are two x's, so we're going to have to divide that by 2, so half of that. So to find the area of this trapezoid, which is the area of the base times the height, we know that the base is base sub 1 plus x. Now x, base sub 1 plus x times the height, and we know that x is equal to 1/2 base sub 2 minus base sub 1. Now by times the height, of course. Now when we simplify base sub 1, we'll simplify this to get 1/2 base sub 1 plus 1/2 base sub 2 times the height. And when we simplify this further, we get 1/2 the height times base sub 1 plus base sub 2 because we factored out the half. And that's how we find the area of a trapezoid. So we take 1/2, multiply that to the height, times the sum of the base 1 plus base 2. For a rhombus, it's the same kind of idea. What we're going to do to make this easier is we're going to find the area of one triangle. Okay, so area of a triangle is equal to 1/2 base times height. Now in this case, our base is half of d1 times half of d2 because those are our two diagonals, or half of our diagonals because it's for a triangle. This gives us 1/8 diagonal 1 times diagonal 2. That's the area of one triangle. Now, we want the area of the entire rhombus or kite. So because we did it for one triangle, we're going to multiply by 4. So 4 times 1/8 d sub 1 times d sub 2. And that simplifies to 1/2 d sub 1 times d sub 2. And that's the area for a rhombus or a kite. So to put that into practice, we're going to find the area of this parallelogram and the area of this rhombus. So area equals 1/2 the height times base sub 1 plus base sub 2. So 1/2 6 times 5 plus 10. So this gives us 3 times 15. So the area of this parallelogram is trapezoid. The area of this trapezoid is 45. So to find the area of this kite, the area is equal to 1/2 d sub 1 times d sub 2. So that height is 1/2 4, because 2 plus 2 is 4, times the other one is 8. So the area is equal to 16 square units. Now it's your turn. Try to solve these 3 problems, post your answers to Edmodo, and send me a note directly, not to the entire class. That's all for now. See you guys next time.